Without that very kind generosity, I wouldn't be here today.
He helped save a San Diego man with cancer while he was battling cancer himself. A look back at the incredible legacy of Sprouts founder Sean Boney.
Homebound San Diego seniors unable to get vaccinated. We take one woman's concerns right to the county.
And a big change coming in how far apart students are advised to stay from each other in the classroom.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
San Diego is known as America's finest city. Last week, we lost one of our finest. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. You may not know the name Sean Boney, but you have probably shopped in his grocery stores that he helped found, Sprouts Farmers Market. But Sean was far more than just a savvy businessman. In December, I shared how Sean donated life-saving flights so that a man with prostate cancer could get the treatment he needed here in San Diego. What I couldn't share at the time was that Sean was fighting his own battle with cancer, one that he lost last week. But his life's work helping to save others is leaving a lasting legacy that is positively San Diego.
He really was an incredible man.
That's what most little sisters would say about their big brothers. But Sean Boney truly was a remarkable man, a born leader destined to inspire.
He put his all into everything, whether that be from playing baseball to being CEO of the year.
In 2002, Sean Boney and his father, Stan, took the family grocery store chain and formed what we know today as Sprouts. By 2013, as CEO, Sean took the company public. There are now 350 Sprouts nationwide, employing over 35,000 people.
They created something that's pretty darn spectacular and changed the lives of so many people in great ways.
Was he always someone who had that leader type of mentality?
He took copious notes in school.
Sean was always learning, and by the age of 16, he learned how to fly. Even that was a source of inspiration. Sean would use his own private jet to fly veterans and those with disabilities at no cost to and from the care they needed. Not once did he ask for recognition.
Yeah, he just was a giving person and that didn't need recognition for it. Just, it's just kind of what you do.
He was passionate about helping people. If he ever learned about anyone in need, he was always one of the first ones to be there to help.
Bryce Olson was one of those individuals who benefited from Sean Boney's generosity.
Without that very kind generosity, I wouldn't be here today.
Olson has prostate cancer. He lives in Oregon, but receives treatment here in San Diego. When the pandemic hit last March, he decided it was just too dangerous to travel with COVID and his compromised immunity. We shared his dilemma in an ABC 10 News story. Boney, who was battling brain cancer at the time, saw that story.
He saw that and reached out to me. And I tell you that he really saved me from myself.
Olson was flown back and forth from Portland to San Diego, courtesy of Sean Boney. The two bonded, discussed scientific research and how their own novel treatments of their cancers might one day benefit others.
He wanted to push the envelope. He wanted to connect with the best in science and technology and try to advance this disease. And I think so many people are just going to miss him.
On March 8th, Sean Boney died after a long, hard-fought battle with glioblastoma. No one will miss him more than his own family. He was a husband, a father, a brother, a son, and a friend to so many, even complete strangers.
That's the kind of person he was. It was always about others. He would always put others first before himself.
And we are honored to share Sean's story. We hope his legacy of service helps to inspire San Diegans to give back, even in some small way. The Boney family is asking those who wish to honor Sean to donate to the Challenge Center, Veterans Airlift Command, or Angel Flight West to carry on his work. You can find a link to all of those organizations on our website at 10news.com.
Steve, it's such a beautiful story of how a giving spirit can just change lives, and it's contagious.
Yeah.
We all want to be better, and he will be so missed.
And can you imagine how many lives he's changed just by doing so, and now hopefully inspiring others to do the same. And that's what we're going to be talking about, because I'm going to continue this conversation on our ABC 10 News Facebook live page at 6:30 with Sean's wife, Heather, his sister, and the CEO of the Challenge Center to continue this conversation on the giving spirit, how you can get involved and share your own thoughts. Join us then.
Our thoughts with his family tonight. Turning now to coronavirus and a bit of good news today from the county on the vaccine supply front.
We are encouraged. Our allocation for next week is about a 10% increase over what we have this week, and we've been holding steady or stable for a considerable amount of time.
Fletcher did say the demand for vaccines will continue to outpace the supply for now. Meantime, we learned the county has finally signed on with the state's partnership with Blue Shield to keep rolling out the vaccine. But county leaders acknowledge there have been significant delays getting vaccines to some homebound seniors. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner spoke to a bedridden 88-year-old who's been trying to get the shot for more than a month.
I spoke to her husband, who has been frustrated with the lack of clarity from the county. He said he's been trying for weeks to get help.
I think it's very reprehensible that they're aware there is such a problem, but seem to be doing little, if anything, about it.
Strong words Thursday from San Diegan Don Yeckel about his failed efforts in getting a vaccine from the county for his wife, Jeanette.
We've been married 66 years, my friend there. You don't stay together unless you're in love.
Jeanette is confined to her bed since she lost the use of her legs. She's 88 with COPD and has 24/7 in-home care.
We have a minimum of 10 people regularly coming in from the outside world, and they have their families and so forth. So that's an ongoing threat.
So when Don heard County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher say in early February that people could start calling 211 to get homebound seniors on a special vaccination home visit list, he signed her up. But days of waiting for an appointment turned into weeks. He said he couldn't get clear answers. More than 5 weeks later, Jeanette still hasn't been vaccinated. Meanwhile, other lower priority tier recipients are getting their shots. Jeanette's not alone. 2 weeks ago, we interviewed a man who's been going through similar issues with getting a shot for his homebound 101-year-old mother.
My mom's like, "Where's my shot?" "I'm trying, Mom, I'm trying."
At Thursday's press conference, we asked Supervisor Fletcher about the delay.
Short answer is it's a very challenging situation. It's very difficult. We had a couple hiccups, but we think it is back on track and moving much more smoothly. And we did have a provider on early when we announced the upstart of the program. That provider did about 3 dozen vaccines and then came to the realization they could not continue. And so we've had to pivot.
Another county spokesperson said in part, they've since pivoted to Sharp Healthcare, which starting Thursday will handle the vaccinations. The county added that it's emphasized vaccinating caregivers to mitigate risk to seniors.
I'm kind of reaching out to try to make something happen for my wife.
A county spokesperson said Thursday afternoon they have spoken to Don and told him that his wife will be in Sharp's first group to get vaccinated. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Let's hope so. Now, the county reported another 439 cases today, while our test positivity rate, it held at 3%. Another 8 people, though, lost their lives to COVID, bringing that total to just under 3,500. The COVID-19 virus was likely circulating undetected for nearly 2 months before the first human cases came to light in Wuhan, China. That is now the discovery announced today by researchers at the UCSD School of Medicine. The first COVID cases were first reported in late December of 2019, but using molecular dating tools and other simulations, the researchers discovered the virus could have been spreading as early as mid-fall.
A motorcyclist was killed today after colliding with a pickup truck in Otay Mesa. The impact was so hard, the motorcycle was embedded in the grill of the truck. It happened around noon on Otay Mesa and Cactus Roads. Police say the 42-year-old rider was stopped at a red light when the truck rear-ended him. The man later died at the hospital. It is not yet clear if the 71-year-old driver of the truck will be cited or charged.
And the group behind the effort to recall Governor Gavin Newsom says they turned in more than 2 million signatures. That would be more than enough to get a recall on the ballot. But the signatures still need to be verified by the California Secretary of State's office. If it qualifies, voters will be asked 2 questions. First, whether they want to recall the governor, and second, who should replace him. No word yet when a recall election might take place. California's former Attorney General is now the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary. Javier Becerra was confirmed by the Senate today on a party line vote. He becomes the first Latino to hold that job. 20 of President Biden's 23 cabinet positions have now been filled.
Saturday will mark Mayor Todd Gloria's 100th day in office. Today, he gave an address reflecting on the city's accomplishments and the work that still needs to be done. Gloria highlighted the city's ability to make COVID-19 vaccines more accessible to San Diegans. He pointed to the vaccination site that was recently set up at Balboa Park. But Gloria says America's finest city still has work to do on homelessness, policing, and climate change.
And if we're going to truly transform our city from being simply fine to being a truly great city, it's going to take all of us working together.
Gloria also mentioned stabilizing the city's budget to offer better pay to city workers and fix our roadways. San Diego's iconic Lafayette Hotel in North Park has a new owner. A company called CH Projects purchased the hotel on El Cajon Boulevard for $25 million. CH Projects also owns restaurants and bars, including Ironside Fish and Oyster and Raised by Wolves. The company's co-founder told the Union Tribune he wants to turn this 75-year-old hotel into a cultural hub for the neighborhood.